Hey guys. Well, I was alone again to to smoke my joint. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. So yeah, well, Luke, I am your father. So let's get this hood off and see the fountain. There's an angel and a gargoyle. And then up there, there's liquor if you want. Oops, we're right. There's a shooter with a, what's his name? The pirate guy cartoon, Albator. And then this is a present my sister gave me. It's nice, yeah, Mickey. Uh, that was when I was 18. And then there's Mary's Blood in here. That was a Dollarama purchase. um, yeah, so this is a kind of a full-time job, 24/7 kind of thing, the daddy thing. No, it's not unpleasant at all. You get to play with love a lot, and you get this pulley system that when you play around with it, it turns heads and stuff. And you have to, like the Men in Black, you kind of got to pole dance to and then it switches and it's hours and hours of good time. It's a good thing you get love while you do that, so you just can't stop twirling around with the Twisted Sisters all the time. Those fucking sisters are sticky, eh? They want to rock. They want us to want to rock. So I hate rock. I killed the Kraken. He rode me for 10 years. And then I shoved my boot up his ass. I quit. But I'm still an addict. And now it's the rave sequels, brain damage period of amphetamines and speed. That my big sin, you probably noticed, because I have this net I'm wrapped in. People don't seem to all feel that. I took a while before I felt the orange peel, onion peel, kind of membrane with the veins. And sometimes it has a whole bunch of little bumps when you untwirl the big wrapper. There's a big a cone with the tape, but the one is harder, and it's kind of this. You know those undulated metal things you put around gardens to keep the earth in? Well, that kind of roll thing with bubbles inside that are diamond shaped. I don't know if those are larvas or incubators, but something's in that. And then it becomes dough, and with a wire, you could ride the rail all night if you want. Rail slide after rail slide after rail slide, just stretching the rail, and then you end up in this kind of spaghetti factory thing, roof thing. But that's because when I'm at home, I have my narcissistic pervert roommate that just can't fucking. You just can't settle in the basement like everybody else. He has to be in the fucking cockpit all the time. Well, at least he's giving me juice. He used to give me speed and smokes. I'd see him, I'd run for the smokes. So yeah, there's a fountain, and then there's a crown, but that's a big source space with just this energy, and there's beer galore as much as you want. The sky's the limit. You can just take all you want. And then there's all the chakras you get too. Because I was you get what you believe in, eh? So we were creators, and so you get what you talk about. You get the way you think, and you get what you wish for. So when I wish, Wish sells it the next day on Wish. So for real, I'm telling you, it's thought about things that appeared on Wish the next day. Like the Facebook profile pictures, I have a tendency to make those change. And they all wear black and smile and speak full eyes when after I say hello with the messenger. I'm gathering a whole bunch of friends. I got invited. I'm not supposed to talk about this, but it's a Cannibal Rising group. That's a really good place for the Christ, the Cannibal Rising group. So I cursed the cannibals with a curse of the cannibal. It's this kind of dementia, damnation zoo. It's a ooze. It's not a zoo. It's a ooze. It's the good news. So it's the real news. You know the news. Yeah, good news. Okay. Imaginary friends. I guess something feels them inside me. It seems like you can almost speak to them with Sam. I'm yanking on my nose all the time. I'm sick of that thing. This is wire thing on my nostril. Yeah, that net I was talking about. It's wrapping and it crawls in here and it goes up there, in there, and then twirls like I don't know how. I've been trying for centuries to get that thing untwisted and it just twists even more. You have to do these impossible things and you have to follow this pain. Every time there's something you have to undo, it's right where the pain is. And it's just, and the pain sometimes keeping me from looking at the ashtray or something deadly because not so long ago, everything I'd see was death, for a long time. I couldn't trust my autopilot. This changed at my birthday this July when I said, fuck it, fuck all, and then I put the pyramid in our mouth, upside down, with an anarchist flag floating in the air and a crying cat coming the next day. I cried all day, I was alone again on my birthday. It's been 10 years. I don't know how long I got a birthday party. I didn't even think those existed. Uh, I'm always present at my friends' parties, though, if there's real friends, because after a while, when you're some sort of Che Christ kind of good soul, good person, well, they had this curse for us, this self sabotage, self-inflicting pain and auto-destructive mode where if you'd be with punks, you'd get smoking and be every person you cross, and they're all changing benches to the fascist bench when you pull the puppets out. We were 18 at a punk fest, and 15 of them changed bench. I had to stripe them all, strip them from their tape, and give them the fucking tongue that slips their teeth. Yeah. That fucking tongue thing. Yesterday I got this cruncher. It hurts when I swallow. I don't know if it can attack my these things that they take out usually. And it's on the corner of my tongue, and then my tongue keeps on rubbing on my. That's a little like not too evil kiss. It's just fucking annoying because your tongue hurts when you talk afterwards, and your cheek and your whole mouth hurts as if you got a beating. That's because yesterday I was fucking around with the ace of spades again. That's all I see, or the Joker. But he took a break. Roxanne left. In Quebec City at least. Came back with a liché licked hair. Liché is riche. Liché in French, riche. That's why they have liché hair, because they're reading che. That's a bird language. It looks a lot like French, that war language. The letters, the numbers, the icons, whatever is codable, sign language, whatever you can hide and talk freely with. is part of the bird language. The birds use it a lot. If you know what birds are, those three little birds have been on our doorstep since the Second World War, and we just noticed there was 10 Trojan horses taking on at least two important Trojan horses, and if you count Al in, that's the third one. Because Al's a fucking golf fanatic, but he has the Detroit Red Wings at our border. So the Red Wings in Motown are fucking our sons of anarchy. That our sons kind of taught us this game that was wrong. Everything they taught us was wrong. It's a good thing I never played that game. Because my father told me once, "You're not a follower." Once he'd always tell me that you're not a follower, and it made me walk alone. I'm the man that walks alone. I don't have any fear of the dark, though. I confronted the dark this July when I don't know what was in Cancer, the moon or something. I can almost tell you I was levitating. It's crazy what happened mid-July. I confronted my worst fear. I came home. I'm a tattoo artist. I'm the rebel heart that Madonna has this crooked tattoo on the Messiah album. Because I worked with the tattooist's curse. Because they cursed everything they could. Every time I like something, they destroy it. I can't do what I like to do anymore. Well, no, I can. I have to say I can do what I like, and because I'm writing the future, I'm creating, I'm verbalizing. So whatever future I wish for myself, I'll talk about in a way as if it exists. You've got to stop bringing the past back. The past is past. So live in the present. The present moment is your initiative. Take control and occupy the present moment. The carpe diem. It's you gotta conquer your initiative. They position themselves. We position ourselves. If you're lucky, you got a helpful hand in that position. But a lot of you are sleepwalking, and there's this whole sun and outside of this cave where all you see is the illusion of the sun on the cave's wall and this slavery you've been dictated to accept by popes and false leaders and false gods that would say, "Read my lips." And you just read that on the people that would be speaking to you. They stole God. So, which is collective consciousness. The first thing they'll do when you're at war, when you're in danger, is they'll take what makes you feel good and replace it by addiction. They'll take what you believe in and destroy it. They'll take your culture and destroy it. That's why folk and folk punk is so important. That's your native tongue speaking. They know the language of the demons you have locally. The best to fight off demons and evil in your community are your local artists, because they've been going around with them their whole life. And they've been resisting this type of force. Other places will have a different dynamic sometimes, but I'm pretty sure that, well, for me, the same dynamic repeats itself. It's always the 1, 2, 3 story. And then 2 doesn't even try to take. Well, yesterday he was trying to right wing the first place. He'd be people laughing at him. Nobody at his birthday, and he's Mr. Popular and Mr. Narcissist, and with his face, Fred and Mr. All-Star used to have Mesrine, a grindcore band. They played in front of Mesrin with the DRI in Quebec City. He's really slick. He managed to, with their manipulation, they can make people do what they want. They used to make people do what they want. They had a commandment. They were clairvoyant. They were telepath. They would just telepath you what to do, and you'd start working for them, thinking it's your own initiative. But no, you're doing something he told you. You're just not noticing what's happening. Sometimes you're a puppet. I play with the strings all the time. They get me isolated with that puppet system all the time. I'm always fighting with the ace of spades. Otherwise, I'm alone, and people and talked at and excluded and destroyed. And then all the time when I'm in the crowd, my head falls to the side and I start swinging. And then after a while, I notice, hey, I'm doing the fucking hangman on this fucking Snowden. The Snowden, they've been following me for a while. My sister's boyfriend's name's Snowden. Is that just a coincidence or what? They're military. I don't know how long Justin has to buy beer, but Justin Bieber, I'm Justin Anarcsun. So I don't know why Justin has to buy beer in Bieber, but I Bieber buy, Derby to buy, but Derby dick race. No more racing. I said racing at the wrong place. Sorry, racing. Hate racing. The new commandment. Oh. So do you actually access alpha, this zone, once in a while? You can shove your eyes in it and go get it, and it'll kind of scrunch into place up here. And you get glasses or someone else, a cat, a dog. It's kind of fun, this dimension. That's where I hide out all the time. I hide in the dimension. So when they talk, they don't know where I'm at. They can't see me. I mean, well, they see my body, but I'm not there. So I hide in other dimensions. The alpha, when you're an alpha, you got the alpha state of mind, the slower or faster frequency. I can't remember which is which. I'm not a psychiatrist or a physicist, but it's the alpha and the theta. Theta is when you're dreaming. Beta is what you're doing most of the time, and the alpha is the magic Wi-Fi. and then you got a dark one, the really dark. I can't find it. I lost the dark. I think I bleached it. It's all this. I can't. It's all in my head. This is crazy shit. I'm insane. And when I have this wire, wire, I'm wired, and then it goes through my nose, and it's playing in my nose, and it's linked to my envy, to what I want, I need. You need. What do you need? What do you need? You need to love me. Oh yeah. What do you need? So well, I know what I need. It's in my nose. I need something that's itching in my nose. So all the time, every 2 minutes, and then it's plugged to the bottom of my eye. So whenever something moves, I kind of just yanks on my nostril. So people who play in my nose with their hands all the time, and some people live past that. They live up here. So whenever you follow the trail and you touch that, you turn around because it's annoying. But they're actually hiding up there, past the nose. But that's supposedly a police line. But that's when the police was corrupt because they called it a line and they put it in the nose. It does advertising for the snortables to the police line. So, well, that's what I figured it was because I'd feel that in my nose when I'd see police lines in movies. So now I'm grinding black again. See, I look crazy, but this is actually working on a turbine at the bottom of my back with wires crawling out of it, and it's this bowl thing that I'm kind of shaping by turning, and I'm rubbing love. Whenever I feel this, I'm transferring it to whoever's giving it to me, so they feel it too. So we play this game both ways, man. It's annoying. It's this fabric that's all twirled up. So no matter how you untwirl it, it always comes back in, and you just can't get rid of it. And you have to turn your head upside down and bend in the middle the other way, and then bend again in the other way, and it's really fucked up shit. And then you gotta get to the tip, and then they'll tie it in your back. I have a handle in my back, and they fucking tie the unicorn sock back in my back. So I say, okay, nobody's up there, yahoo! I get the crown back. And no, they're hiding in this back shack. There's a chakra in the back. There's a hole with a Well, there's a hole with a tunnel that goes in and out at the buttock, and then the bottom of the tunnel is a wire in it and pulleys. With the wire, and you have to untwist the pulleys to stretch the wire, and then they can dent the wire. That's actually what you read, and we're all following this wire. And whenever if there's a loop in it, well, you follow the loop, or you react at that moment, or they'll give you a shot in the nose, or at that moment. So you have to undo all the curves in the rail, the dough rail. I call that dough because I think that's what Omer means with dough, because dough is flour and waters. And when you're a Johnny like me, you give water. You're a verso. What's that sign? Aries. Verso, the water pourer. Verso in bird language is the green pail, the green thing to put water in. Green pail, the green bucket. So the green bucket, I guess it's the good deadly bucket. I don't know, because the bucket you kick is a bucket is a dead man kicking the bucket. So that's why they got the KFC giving you all that greasy bucket. They even give it to us in a bucket. So surprise, surprise, Colonel Sanders, Colonel. We, yeah, well, how about some good old crunchy chicken, eh? No, I get sued for this, I guess. You can't sue the Christ. Fuck you. You just forgot what I said. No, just kidding. No, you guys remember everything. This is really important because it's kind of a teaching of naked, horny bitch that vomits. I'm not quite vomiting right now. Well, now I just started to vomit. So, yeah, I love to vomit a lot. And verbal diarrhea is pretty cool, too. So yeah, right now I'm taking care of the manor. In French, a manor is a manoir, and the ma is e, the old e. When e was evil, they were called a ma. A ma is a mollet, a calf is a mollet, is an ugly ma. The ma is a mantra that evokes them, the two. That do three. The devil makes three. The devil is two, and it makes three. But two and three are devils now. And they're probably motherfucking the four, like a pink, like what that bird with just one leg, flamingo. Four, flamingo, takes your wife. Five, that's what I figured, I guess. Five is a saint. We have this beer, it's called La 50. La 50 is 50. 50 is five haunt. The five hunt, the fives hunt and haunt. So Saint Count is five haunts, but it's all Saint is also Saint with a, but it's Saint. I don't know, you can play around with. The only thing I figured was the five was a haunting thing. Then the six is because it's sex in German, and it's probably sin too, I think, if I remember properly. Seven, all I figured what it was, I kind of understood they were giving me the gallows pole when it was 7 o'clock and 7 years old. That would lead to 13. And then you'd be 9 just after the 8. 9. And then you'd go to hell, heaven, and then to hell again. 12 again. Yeah. So I guess it's a lovely game, that English language. Good night at night and wake up in the morning, still looking for the grail. It's up here, you know. ET is showing you where the grail is. ET has the fucking grail open. It's that wall. The wall is the fucking bluebird. Bluebird buses all crammed together, real tight and stuck to one another, and it's the blue maggoty brass that would keep the wall closed. Yeah, we got to get rid of all those to open up the wall, to get our free way, our way, the whole way, the one way, the other way. Don't take the black way. The black way, use it in defense. When they're sucking on you, just give them the black way and make them smoke like hell. Just open up. It's right behind the other way. It tastes awful. It tastes smoky, the black way. And then you take. I have Justin Powers' way. I have Justin Sane's way. Justin Sane is my email. Polynésie. It's the country of the craziness. Polynésie. I named my email like that. I don't know why. I'm yanking on my nose again. Sorry if you guys feel that. I really don't want to be a bad influence. I'm quitting in January. All the fast track operations. I don't do cocaine. Uh, just the speed once in a while, and I don't know why. It helps me, I guess, play with loneliness. I don't know if I wouldn't be lonely and have same friends. I don't think I'd really want to do that much and hide and be a, get scare girls away and all that. So yeah, I figured I'd give me myself a mental preparation. This is actually what I substituted. It's my medication. So, and then the crown, the chakras are all open. When you live through oneness and an awakening, and you realize, ooh, realize that his story, it's his story. So what we have to come to comprehend is that we're living in illusion. We're in this illusional cage we're maintaining for no reason, sticking with the past, with the system we've built in order to make profit. The capitalist system, past due, out of date, change it. Go anarchist, dead center, left, right, collaborative, dead center, anarchist, power to the people, people on top. I'd see the X. I'd put the crown in the middle. Up is good, down is evil. Down, get evil, get their dictator, their fascism, their system, in their reality, with a king on top like they wanted. They can actually be the king. There's nobody on the throne. I stretch my neck and pop up the pyramid from the ground. I don't even sit on the throne. So I don't care. He fucking took it yesterday. And then the guy with the cane show up with the fat redhead. He starts walking with the fucking cane. And if you see one of those, take the cane and fucking hammer him with it and shove it up his ass. Fucking cane. That's what Cain really deserves. It's fucking a cruel death of sodomy or something. But everything transforms, eh? So you're not supposed to say evil like I did, but I guess this is Satan in me that's expressing his old self. So Satan says, kill Cain. Kill Cain, yeah, fucker. And well, who else? Who was that other one? And there's Judas. No, Judas, he got manipulated, I guess. He got scared. But Cain knew what he was doing. He's all over the place. My good friend. Take me as Abel. Yeah, that good, eh? So, yeah, we're gonna. So, what I plan to do in the commandments is, you know where it says good night on the stick? I'd say bad night now. Bad night's okay. So that's my daughter, because the KKK took my baby away. it's not the KKK, but it's a fascist instance in corrupt Canadian government, Quebec government, because we did have corruption problems with the liberals. Liberal is bullshit. Even Justin Trudeau is. They're taxing fucking ecology instead of taking measures to take greenhouse effect down and whatever. They're gonna tax carbon, the fucking thieves. What the fuck? No, get rid of carbon for fuck's sakes, Justin. No fucking tax. Get rid of it. They're fucking taxing, and always a new reason to tax, and whatever. He's doing an all right job. I don't really live their reality. I don't live in a 9 to 5 world, and I have my little stumbling tattoo business that's private. I have a $300 a month ad on Google AdWords, and I live off that. So Google makes me live, and then Facebook, and I take what comes. I have all this. I've been sabotaged. They cursed my business or something. They did something to my clients, and they scare people away. There's these notes, these yellow notes in the tunnel when they make it to my studio, like in the psychic tunnel we follow. We're all in a tunnel. The tags are a tunnel. Street signs, street lines are a tunnel. Sewers are a tunnel. Trees are a tunnel. Flowers are a tunnel to women. So there's all portals everywhere, and they create a tunnel in which we follow a love line, a love trail. You can play with the love trail. In the concert, they always shove it next to me, so I get bumped the whole concert. I can't listen to the concert. I have to fight with the other rooster, the kangaroo. And then whenever he wins, the guy with the cane's walking around. When I win, everybody's happy and drinking beer. And then when the cane shows up, and we go 1, 2, 1, 2 all night. And they go, "I said you're mon best." Yeah, you're the best when that happens. If somebody calls you best, run away or transform him immediately with a transformation curse of some sort and kiss the fuck out of him, because he's trying to kill you. When you're best, you're dead. Canada's best. Quebec's best. We got nice Trojan horses. And remember the Detroit Red Wings and the Blackhawks. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the national hockey league. National. NHL, that makes rich right-wing elites that keep all the money of the people and fuck off to Monaco or LA with it. That's really good. Oh, I love professional sport. They should have a law telling those people to reinvest locally and to open up babysitting places and popular soup kitchens and vegan distribution and clothes and coats and recycled and non-profitable. Those clothes recycling places are making a bundle, and they're not giving anything. They're just giving good prices of stuff they were given to them, and they're making a lot. I hope they're sharing and reinvesting and opening new resources with their profit and not just profiting off the poor like that. So yeah. So yeah, this is a full-time job. I have to dance and get rid of my roommate upstairs all the time. Every time there's between two, he's always clicking. He has a note. He told me in my head, tell me when the song stops between two songs, and then the message goes from there through the tunnel to him. So he has a reflex to go click whenever the song stops. So all the time, every single fucking time a song stops, he click, 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 and that's how he gets back up, because their noises, their sounds pop him back up. Like when they said yo would open a tunnel to the cockpit. They'd be in your head, and they'd be right at the place where they can command you telepathically without you hearing them. And if you don't hear the command, your subconscious does there's two things it does. Sorry, I got a cold. There's two things it does. It's take pictures when you raise your cage, and it takes a picture of what you needed or want. So in order to remember where it's at and how to get there and how to fulfill your needs, it's what your heart needs that you adjust at the table at ground zero. So it'll take a picture or it'll obey a commandment. And what they do is they command you in your subconscious where you don't hear them. It even happens to me, there's something that in my aura or something that tells them to ignore me and to isolate me and to close the circles in front of me. I'm always alone. I've been hanging out for 10 years at this bar where I've been going to concerts, and that punk bar, metalhead bar, the Scanner, and a cruncher. Crunches in the dope. There's these endless screws, and it kind of feels hard sometimes. And it's all crunching this bad. All those crunchers is something wrong you're doing. It'll it'll it, it'll provoke a bad reflex or something that advantages evil. At the moment you move, you'll be connecting and opening a door or allowing whatever. So it can play a lot, or it'll say work for me. So everything you'll be doing unconsciously, you'll be placing when you're the one of the two snakes in the staff of the medicine. There's two snakes, and there's a staff. Well, either they just take second place, and whatever comes from me is annihilated and retranscribed at position number 2 when it's pyramidal. And then it's his program that controls the mass. So I'm always powerless because I imagine I have power command over him, but he connects, I don't know how, where, and he makes me, I always have to pay attention. He's getting me to work for him all the time. So I start going against my will, or against well, my will was supposedly a good will, except for what I don't need that I want. No, what I need that I don't want. uh, so yeah, whatever. Now it's itching me at the end. It's all twirling as I speak. There's this manufacturer of dough that's cleaning up. And it gives beer. The more you play with it, and then I have all these wires I can't get rid of in the back of my throat that's hurting my tongue and making it stick to that. You usually squish it with love, and the love is stronger on the tongue. But this one I'm having trouble because there's 3 pressure points that you have to yank at the same time to unconnect. Then there's another one back here that makes it start over all the time, and up here is a whole bunch of thing, that when it gets up here, it flows to the front. So you can never get the one that's straight up, the first one. You're always getting the derived one that takes you off track all the time. It's hard to get back to the roof. Number 2 has this trail in the net. He just flows in the trail and you can climb up like that. And then you get the right wing salute and the cane coming out. And then the redheads and the whole 9 yards. He's taking cymbals and batting them. Cymbals is a cymbal. It's a saint's ball. Cymbal. Saint's ball. Hi-hat. I'm the hi-hat. They hit the hi-hat. So, and then they play, they hit Claire too. Caisse claire. Caisse claire is a snare. Snare in French is Claire's case. Claire is clear. She's a clarinet. She's clarinet. Clarinet is clean, propre, clean. Yeah, I played a lot with the. Maybe that's why I kind of end up in this position all the time. Is because I speak a few languages, and I noticed this hidden way of telecommunication and And it's this hidden way of communication, the bird language. It's in Wikipedia. It's anagrams like they do in the Da Vinci Code. They were trying to teach you something with that movie. Those anagrams are for real. To switch the letters apart and the ending of a word with the beginning of the next one, or syllables or graphemes. The ga, gi, a, I, un, on. In French, un and an are two assholes. Un is when you en fait, when you en do, is you're doing the enfer. Enfer is to make un. Enfer is hell. To make un, when you do un, is you're doing hell. Un is the guy that is not serious and is always playing around with you, and it's kind of a swindle the whole way, and and when you hear that, you go, not another one of those fucking idiots. Not a creep, an idiot. He's just obnoxious or something. I don't know how to say that in English. The ads are really annoying. He gets your moral. You get everybody you meet after a while, and you're on fire. Fire is also iron or steel, metal. Fire. Fire is to do, and it's also metal. Le fer de l'épée means the combat. The fire, the metal of the sword. Something that has affaire is something that you have on your iron. Some iron you have to beat or something. Affaire or it's affaire. It's affected by the steel. Affaire, you see. So that was another parenthesis. So the bird language, yeah. And then from getting kissed all the time, they'd come and kiss me every day. They have this pool of bad clients, and everybody was fascist. When Eminem shows that video when he gets possessed by a demon, and then all of a sudden these 1,000 red-eyed little guys all dressed the same are following him around in a car dumpster, a car dump or something. Well, those little clones are. Then Star Wars talks about clones. TV clones you. TV gives you programs, and then when you meet somebody like me, you become a prick without even noticing you're being one. Just at the moment you react, it annoys the other one or places his nose or whatever. Two good persons are always programmed to fight or to separate or to argue. They were keeping the good people separate, and the good souls, they Christ them and crucify and exclude them and demoralize them and drive them crazy. Most of them are in a psychiatric help. It's narcissists that create the D system, the system D, the tenacious D, the knots, the D's in my nose. So yeah, so I noticed that language, and what else? Oh, the kisses they were giving me. I got this death kiss. I was sucking off death, and this star costume like Venom was crawling all over me. I was using my fish to clean up the energy balls I'd find everywhere that were trapped in the poisonous or toxic. But I'd get them to rub them and to hunt the horniness down. But from playing with those, it swallowed the energy balls. And so I had to go and get them back inside each fish, because once they was swallowed, they'd become evil fish. And they'd attract my attention, play around with my attention, and keep me in the ashtray. And they were all little predators. So I had to... And then the yellow one's the boss now. But yeah, I had I forgot to clean one out, and I actually got a fish that died. It took me 4 days of dancing. I had to close the shop and just dance and dance and dance and headbang and, and just race that fucking thing that was on the antenna. and then just crawling and rolling on and trying to make it to the top. Now my roommate, I got this fucking sock on my head. It's my fucking roommate. He's always fucking playing up there, and I just can't get him to come the fuck down from there. And that fucking sock, that's all. I have to get mad at it or something. We'll talk non-stop. And then when you get angry, you start saying things in the wrong place. You start repeating yourself. You start having trouble, and now it's going down and down and down. And you have to insist and look crazy and start talking to yourself and talking, and then trying to get that motherfucking parasite down the fucking drain. So he gets out of the fucking cellar. But no, Mister has a fucking trail when he walks in. As soon as he passes the door, he just crawls right up my fucking ass into my fucking head. And he just fucking lays up there all the time. And I don't have the fucking choice to endure him, the fucker. So I get really fucking angry at him. And I just fucking feel like tearing his head off. Because he's always in the fucking cellar. That's how I feel sometimes. Yeah, you have to get angry, but he's still up there. There's still a fucking sock. He's telling me to get away. Then there's these fucking messages right at the source that you have to always on crunch because he's telling you to not put the music on there. Usually you put the music on the top and you say fuck you and you go to hell and grind the fuck out of them. And, or any good music will do it, but grindcore, it just grinds those inner claws that are clawed inside your head. There's these things that stick in and twirl. They got a fucking city in there. Okay, I'm getting angry. I gotta stop. So that's how I am and how much of a crazy anti-narcissist I am with this permanent job of cleaning up the manor, and plus I'm cleaning up the roommate's shit because he's making me connect to him, and then I feel what's inside his head. He would deserve an evil kiss of some sort because he's fucking squatting where he's not allowed, and he won't fucking leave. He won't fucking take his own fucking hole, and he's always a fuck up there. You don't really get too much bad. I used to get the smoking all the time because of him up there. Yeah, I have trouble feeling like taking my shower because the fucking welfare, it doesn't take his fucking shower, and all his bad habits. He never eats. So what happens to me is I never feel like eating. I never have any appetite because he turned that thing off, and whatever makes you think of eating, you're always getting sore. And when you're thinking about eating, your stomach starts to hurt. So you just can't ever eat or do anything. All these nice little curses that those narcissists will give and do to you just to be in control. And then they'll start punishing you if you get angry or mad or tell them they're fucking assholes and whatever. Well, then they shove you down the ashway and say, well, I can make you smoke if I want and blah, blah, blah. And you're getting all this fucking bullshit done and this cleanup for his fucking house that deserves to be a fucking hellhole because he's a fucking parasite, you know? Those parasites, that's the worst fucking thing about being a father is those fucking rats and parasites that are all over, always fucking around with you. And that fucking rooster, I'm such... I don't know what I have to do to him. I tried the pacemaker, I tried everything, he just won't stop. He just can't stay where he's at. He always has to command and he has to screw it. Evil's right. Why the fuck would somebody want to go right? You know, why is there so many evil people? I decided that good was going to dissolve evil and that evil will disappear. So eventually the right wing will disappear because it's egoists speaking of ego and narcissistic principles with needs you don't even fucking need and luxury and vanity and all that bullshit, that gold diamond stuff that don't make you a better person for any reason or whatsoever, you know. So yeah, I guess the musicians I have to thank giving me all this mentality and this character and this I don't give a fuck about being alone. I don't give a fuck about not having a girlfriend. I'm not even sure I want one sometimes. Well, yeah, I think you worked on that desire. I'm starting to want when you're doing good work. I'm starting to look at the tits. Oh yeah, the tits. Well, I always grab the booby trap. When you see the tits, you have to look at them. That's where they put the energy to put your to attract your attention. There, they put their favorite drop. Whenever they pick an object and you release an object, grab it. Grab the love on they put to bring it in. That's what they like most. You control them after that. And then what they'll do is the rooster, the number two, and sometimes there's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and they're all to the front. And it seems like I'm always alone dealing with all those down part pyramid dictature zone fascists try to call back up all the time when all the people are up there in this upside down pyramid. So people put what they want in my head in the book of God. I'm not God. It's a collective consciousness. But we can all borrow God if we act without egoistic tendencies or for personal beliefs or for personal reasons. But if we're acting on the behalf of a community truth, virtue, and reason, we can all borrow God and act in the name of God. And we have to stop living in the past, living with the past and dragging the past with us. It's keeping us in this cage. This is these are the new black ages. How does that religion say that? The dark ages. They took away the dark ages. They erased that. There was magic in the dark ages. They're keeping us away. Some people actually started seeing the alpha zones and the other dimensions and all that, and other places of power, and some people even managed to. Unless they developed a character that appears that speaks a certain way when they channel, that's actually a collective consciousness on Earth. But the size the galaxy and universe has, I believe those channelers saying that they channel advanced beings in other dimensions. I'd be ready to believe that, because what punk's got to understand is that you have a spirit, a soul, and an essence, and no God's no master. Well, God, if you're in a good collectivity, is not a God. It's a collective consciousness. Man creates that. Celestial beings, by combining their energies and thoughts, create a celestial entity that we consider like a God, but actually is the community power acting on the puppet show. That's the way I see it. That's the way I pursue reality. And we're living in the universe. The sky's the limit. The universe is limitless. There's supposedly, I heard someone talking about the source one. The source of the universe. It's this pool of beer, of light. The source is a diaphragm with like a chakra. It's the source. Imagine the source. Where the beginning was it thought? Everything is light, vibrations, magnetism, all things that we can manipulate as human beings. So we're being kept away an enormous power in order to keep on exploiting us in this human life we're living, when we're eternal beings on an eternal mission and a discovery to how it is to live a material life, a 3D material life with time. Time doesn't exist in other dimensions. The only thing that exists is the present moment. You never saw reality shift to another scene and just changed the rest of the future, right? Change it again. I want the future to be this way. I want it to be that way. I want it that way. I want it here. So this is how to shift reality, I guess. So what we say is, when we talk, is we we verbalize I think that roommate's gone. I just have to be a bit more. There's no more sock. There's just spaghetti in this pulley system. I have to get it all straight. Heads are turning. Like, oh no! I yanked the fucking tube back up. Oh shit! I got the anyway. So yeah, we're celestial beings. I kind of phase out once in a while like that. Uh, so yeah, we can manipulate all those things, and with our willpower, there's a lot of things we can do that are kept blinded. We're kept blinded and sleeping. We have to wake up. We have to realize something else is happening, that we control reality, and that we have to be careful in the way we talk, and we have to also redirect the way we say things to the proper area of effect they actually have effect. And the elements, the vibrations, the frequencies they use, all those sounds are mantras. All those sounds are magic related and esoteric and spirit related. Whew. Oh, I don't know. Always tired. That's another one of but not always. I spent 20 years waking up with the alarm clock. When it would ring, this voice in my head would tell me you're tired. As soon as it would ring, I could have spent an hour turning around trying to sleep, not even tired or anything, in my bed. And as soon as the alarm would sound, I'd just go heavy and these tires. And when you see the tires on the car, don't hop in the driver or you's gonna fall asleep when you notice the tires. It's because their tires are pinked. I did a ride like that when I couldn't keep on staring at the tires before getting in with the guy, and I dozed off the whole ride. Crazy. And whenever he contract a muscle, I'd be like just hammering me like, whoa, this tiredness, like active, just dragging you down, like pulling on you, like, oh, just whoa, what was that? And it's just tired, but 10 times. So yeah, be careful of the tires. And why did they name those tires those assholes? Because they wanted to kill us. So yeah, it's like a bar for a bar Honda. Our hero Villeneuve, he drives for bar Honda. They're sending us to the bar every time he races. Then we're gonna get rid of the snare was playing around with my head. I loosened up a lot of that stuff inside me by doing this video. But I'm still in this sock. I don't know what I'm doing. It's their roommate's fucking sock. Piss me off. I have to look crazy and go crazy to get rid of that and to get rid of his fucking. But I guess I'm twirling it all up to get it to reverse. I wanted to put it against the grain texture because when he says against the grain, all the all the dough gets sticky and it resists, and it's hard to turn. And I think it's constrictive too, boa-like. I think it grabs their breath, and then they slap. I saw a girl's cheek become packed with love, and then that get slapped exactly there. What a weird coincidence. Yeah, and when you see a girl that has a cheek that's prominent, that's because she's equipped to get you mad and making you want to hit her. That's how they get rid of good people, is get them beat in jail. It happened to me. I got the wheelchair for as a girlfriend. In French, wheelchairs are chaises roulantes. It's a a redhead chair that's slow or that haunts him, le haunt. So it's a redhead, violent, fighting Irish girlfriend that haunts you, and that's a chair, like a girlfriend. So that's when Slipknot, when they raise the guy, the handicapped guy in the wheelchair, they're laughing at me because people like me, we get wheelchairs. That's sabotage girl and suicide girls that marry you and go out with you just to destroy you. This we need more frogs on the front, on the forehead. Put a frog on the forehead. Well, we're loving, but you have to love and fall in couple with them and make a good evil couple because they're all evil. Well, not all of them, but a lot of it was turned evil. Everybody was evil. I think there was only just a handful of the disappearing Jedi was real. The clones were real. Everything would run into me, would turn into this little soldier, this little fascist soldier out to kill me, or to piss me off, or to give me a hard time, or whatever. All the time, it was crazy. Every clients, and I get these clients with the roses, hearts, jokers, Harley Quinns, hourglass, whatever's death, and they all get tattooed a lot. Eh? So all I get is kissers all the time. And I got this run of little tattoos, little hearts. It takes 5 minutes to do, but they were just there to come and kiss you and pay the less possible. And then I stopped paying for tattoos and just started grabbing consultancy and consultations to come and kiss. So you're always getting rid of this object sequence within what they do is they appropriate themselves objects because they're like a Trojan horse. They blow out into all the objects they look at, become one of their blue friends, their toxic friends. So you end up with just bad influence around you. So you're always dragged to you're always dragged to evil stuff or deadly stuff. So it's been an hour. I hope I didn't look too crazy, but you get to see how I is when I'm mad. I get mad at the guy that keeps me in this YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber, but it's just this gamer. You gotta cast a spell on all the gamers to tell them to get in the basement and to clean the garbage. Because gamers, they make this wall with all these racers and gamers that just always race to the top all the time, you know, and they have the best in the world, and it's gamers are keeping some doors shut. Gamers are keeping some doors shut by playing, and they're constantly trying to win, so they're really hard to keep up with. And they're just playing. All they have to do is play. And when they dig a map I felt those maps dig in my stomach. And then what they would do, they would kill Merlin. What the fuck? Yeah, don't kill Merlin. Evoke Merlin, bring him back. He knows how to deal with the Romans. And so I got those big bubbly tubes now. So yeah, bring back Merlin. He's dealt with the Christians and then the Normans. Bring back the Druids back. Bring back all the barbaric tribes that were non-Arconian or predatorial creeps like fascists can be and Nazis can be and narcissists can be, which leads to fascism and cannibalism. So yeah, we're getting close to a cannibal holocaust, according to me. But it's a good thing that since we're united, we'll be a lot easier to eat. Eat what's united. Eat unity. Or should we join unity and love unity? Or once we have no more food, we'll have to eat something. So I guess we're going to be eating cannibals. Cannibal corpse. So that was my conclusion in case the world ends tomorrow. Bah, did I say that? Uh-oh. Bon, ça y est. Le tube, the tunnel is back. Now he goes out. Bon, and then whenever he gets out of the apartment all disappointed because I took him out of the cellar, for fuck's sake. Those narcissists, they're so fucking retarded and they're so fucking crazy. They're the only crazy fuckers. They drive people nuts, but those people are not crazy. They're victim of narcissistic manipulation. That's what they're victim of. And even illness is that. They create illnesses with magic and with bad elements combinations and bad energies and bad spirits. And some illnesses are just demonic possession. And you look at a lot of good people, what they're all possessed. They all have evil inside them. They all have this terrible evil thing that's looking at you when you're like me. It's hard to cope with, anyways. So I've been talking a lot. I made a mess of myself. I got angry. I just didn't. I almost cried once or twice. I'm really sensible, but that's when I do something else. So I take care of the diamond three-eyed cat, and the cat down the road is up to something good. So take care of the cat down the road because he's a really nice cat. And ACAB means all cats are beautiful, not all cops are bastards. It's all cats are beautiful. So try to be positive and say no evil, hear no evil, see no evil. And for those about to rock, obey the brave.